Well, hello lovely humans and welcome back to my channel. We are doing an updated plant tour because I felt like it. If you guys are new here, then you probably don't know that my family actually just moved from Southern California to Central Texas. Which was a pretty big deal, a pretty long move. What should have been about 20 hours worth of driving ended up being like 4 days. It was a long haul. So I ended up making a whole video about moving with houseplants. I'll throw it on up here if you guys are interested. But I say that as a bit of a disclaimer and a bit of an explanation for why I keep talking about this elusive move. Quite a few of the plants did end up sustaining like a little bit of cosmetic damage, which of course you will see throughout the tour, but I just basically wanted to save face and let all the new people know that I'm not the most negligent plant parent out there, okay? I'm very committed to my plant babies. It just was a long trip. Okay, so if you want a little explanation of that, go check out that video because it was a long time, okay? But since I did pare down from about 200 houseplants to I think like 50 or 60, I figured it was high time that we did an updated plant tour to let you know which plants made the cut. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. All right, so starting out in this eastern facing window, we have the Alocasia Frydek, who actually, since we got here, put out 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can see that. There's a third pup. We can hazard, I guess, to say that he is really enjoying both this western exposure and this Texas humidity. We have our Philodendron gloriosum with a new leaf coming out. I'm telling you, they are enjoying this heat. Oh, there's trash there. That's where we keep our trash cans. But this one hasn't given me a new leaf in forever, so I am quite excited about it. You can see there's definitely some damage from the move, a little squished. He's got some, gosh, he's like very elephant ear-ish right now. he's got some perking up to do, but I'm super excited about that new growth. Now over here, this was one of the plants that was like that teeny tiny toilet just hanging out. This was one of the plants that was the most damaged by the heat, and you can see this is what happened. And here's some more here, and here's some more here, and here. Like this was the one that was smushed the most against the back window when I realized how much damage was happening to it. And this is my Philodendron Rojo Congo, or Congo Rojo, but this is a brand new leaf. Look at, ain't she gorgeous? And there's another one coming in right here. So I'm surprised because this one, to me, feels really far away from that window and yet is giving me new growth. I've decided to keep this on, like keep the damaged leaves on. 1, because I didn't want it to look super bare. And 2, because I wanted to basically show this in the plant tour to be just completely transparent about how much I goofed with moving houseplants. And now moving into the office. Okay, I'm gonna try to close this to see if it helps with the backlighting. All right. We have, okay, chill out, my friend. This is a north-facing window. We have an asparagus fern. I just could not part with this guy. Of course, my first Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which is not gonna stay here. I don't like it in the orb. I just threw it in there because I knew I was filming a plant tour. Like literally, that's the only reason. And then we have, you're, pretend that wasn't it. Why is there a bag of chips? Okay. And then we have a Philodendron Brazil cream, I believe this one is, but look at just the beautiful markings on this one. I knew I wouldn't be able to find this one as easily, so it definitely had to come with. And then coming on down here, we have my Philodendron Black Knight, I think it is, which I have since chopped up, and we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 plants, tons of new growth coming in, which is really fun. But I don't know if you guys remember, this was like 2 feet tall, so I was over it. I didn't want it to be that tall and gangly, so all the new growth is much smaller than the old growth, but I'm just gonna give it some time as it matures and hope that those little guys get bigger. And here is the, oh, sorry Ron, we're just gonna, wow. And here is Peperomia I think. I forget which one this is. This guy just was brutalized by the move. I'm about 2 seconds away from letting this one go. Just sad. Sad potato. That's what this is. You're sad potatoes. All right, and then over here we have a south-facing window back door situation. And we have my Calathea White Fusion that I forgot to water, and it dropped a bunch of leaves. This has nothing to do with the move. This is just because I was a forgetful parent, plant parent. But we do have new growth coming in, so I'm hoping I can redeem myself. And then down here we have the only Pelea peperomioides that came with me. In my last plant tour video, there were a lot of pale leaves, and I had quite a few comments saying perhaps it's getting too much light. You guys, it was getting too much sunlight because now it's, I don't know, 6 feet away from a south-facing window, and he is living his best life. We did get some damage, so we lost some of the leaves, and these are coming in a teensy bit curly as we're trying to figure out the new watering situation in the new house. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm so happy with this guy, and he seems to be doing a lot better with less light. So if you do have a Pelea that is having issues with getting really pale, perhaps try pulling them back from the light a little bit more, because that seemed to do the trick for me. Panning on over this way, Alocasia Regal Shields, who also had quite a bit of damage. We've already lost several of those damaged leaves. You can see the remaining stalks over there. But new growth right here. This one's new. This one's new, and look, there's another one coming in right there. So we're recovering. It's just we're going through an ugly duckling phase. Down here we have our kangaroo paw fern, or kangaroo fern, which, look at new little growth, which I just love on this stand and in this almost cement looking pot. I believe it still is terracotta, it's just gray colored. Ugh. Ugh, you are cute. Little bits of damage from the move, but not bad, really. And then we're just seeing so much new growth, which is very exciting. I love fertilizer season. These are kind of just here for now. It's really not a well-lit space. I just kind of collected all my air plants and put them here at our little coffee bar situation because I just love staring at them there, but they're pretty far away from both the south-facing window over there and the north-facing window over there. So that may not be their permanent home, but they're cute, so we're gonna keep it like this for now. All right, atop the fridge, Philodendron Brazil, because honestly, no one took it. So I just took it, I moved with it. And then we have some string of hearts, Serrapegia woodii, rooting in water, because that one was so long that I had to give it a chop. And then, of course, I had to bring this little guy with me. It's a Serrapegia woodii variegata that is just taking off. This variegated string of hearts has barely given me any growth. I did wind it all in there in the hopes that some of those tubers would root a little bit better, but this thing has not grown for me the whole time I've had it, and now she's getting fierce. I understand she doesn't look like that from the side, but from the top, especially if I pulled some of those tendrils out, finally growing. And then smushed right next to this north-facing window, we have one of the beastly Monsteras that definitely came with me because I love them so much. You're looking a little curly. Do you need some water? I have never had, oh yeah, those leaves are a little sad. I've never had a Monstera in a north-facing window, so I've been curious to see how this would go. It's going well, I would say. Look at, not too shabby for a north-facing window. Probably needs to be watered, looking a little droopy, but pretty decent $14 purchase from a grocery store, am I right? Up here we have all of the length that I trimmed off that Philodendron Brazil behind me. It was so leggy and so long that I just chopped it all off, and I don't know if you can tell, it's in like a vintage milk bottle up there. Hopefully that these will root, and then I could pot it back into that one to create a fuller plant, because it was just a little scrawny and not quite my speed. He needed a little lovin'. I guess we're just bouncing back and forth now. I should have just done this. Next, right smush next to the south-facing window, we have the Scindapsus pictus exotica, which is the Scindapsus pictus that has way bigger leaves, who is doing quite well. I recently trimmed off a bunch of the runners because it was just too leggy. So now I'm seeing a lot more new growth up at the top, which is very exciting. I wanted a fuller plant, not too leggy, so I'm glad I trimmed some of those off. Panning on up here, the saddest Cebu blue you ever did see. I don't know what it is with these stinking plants. Every time I repot them, they just get so mad and boycott me for a little bit. So hoping this guy will bounce back. We're seeing some fresh growth on top. I probably will end up trimming this up, really giving it a good haircut to try to motivate growth from the top. A Monstera cutting that has been rooting in water for eons now. Oh look, empty pots. Let's pretend that those weren't there, because we're still decorating. We have Philodendron Silver Sword, doing great. I did chop this one a while back because it was really leggy like my Philodendron Black Knight. And look, boom, boom, boom. There's another one there. Oh, down in there. So of course these are going to be tiny leaves like the other one and not quite full grown size like these are, but that's okay. I really just want to try to get a fuller pot instead of just one big long piece. That's kind of less my style with this style of philodendron. Also, if you hear screaming, my children are outside in the pool playing. Again, right next to a south-facing window, we have the Gigantor Monstera that I have since put in this really pretty copper exterior pot. It's still planted in its pot inside of that. We'll get to that one in a second though. We have a Monstera Adansonii that I kind of trellised on the top of a small tomato cage. He needs some work. He's getting a little bit leggy, which if you haven't picked up on by now, I prefer to not have runners if I can. I really just like a more a compact plant on top and then for it to spill over, so I might trim that one up. And then one of the ZZs that made the trek with me, these are just the easiest houseplants. It's probably not gonna stay here, but it's just sitting here for now. I don't know about you guys, but when I move, it takes me forever to find spots for my plants. So they're just kind of clustered here at the moment. But here's that gorgeous exterior pot. He's just still planted in his pot inside. And then this is giant Monstera. Here's some of that damage again from the move. But we are seeing, oh look, here's a new one right here. I'm so excited. And I think we got a new one about to pop out there too. I think this heat is actually really benefiting my plants. We run our AC at a higher temperature than we did in California, so I think they're just loving it. Real quick before we get to the mounted plants, got a little Peperomia Prostrata, kind of sad looking little guy. This is all from rooted cuttings though, so I'm just proud that he still exists. All right, we're just gonna be joyful that he's still alive, even though he's kind of sad looking. And now the gorgeous wall of mounted plants, my pride and joy. Let's start from up over here and we'll just kind of like zigzag or snake our way down. So this one, wait for the focus. This one is a Platycerium superbum. This is Platycerium bifurcatum, which is like your standard staghorn fern. There's another superbum. It's probably dead. But I'm not ready to let go of it yet. I keep watering it in the hopes that it will just see new growth, but he's been pretty mad at me for quite a while, so I don't think that guy's bouncing back. A rickrack or fishbone cactus, a rabbit's foot fern, little aragog with the creepy spider legs. We did get, you can kind of see a little bit of some of the, oh, you know, a little bit of the damage from the move, but still tons of new growth. Hoya Wayetii struggles to funk, just never wants to do well. I talked about this in the last plant tour of like, maybe I should just take it off the mount. Clearly I haven't done that yet. Again, I have issues letting go. Let's try to maybe keep the dead fronds to a minimum for the plant tour, shall we? Another Platycerium bifurcatum that we did have some damage from the move, just from the heat or being squished. I mean, this was such a, we did wrap this one with saran wrap, but still got crunched and stepped on and smushed between things. Happy to see that he is going to make a full recovery with all that new growth right here. This gem, I don't know if you guys remember how long it was in the last plant tour, but this is my Ripsalis. Again, I don't recall which Ripsalis this is, but it has gotten so long. I just basically want to go on a Ripsalis shopping spree on Etsy and just get a ton of these because this clearly is thriving in Texas, living her best life, and I want more. A Platycerium grande, I believe. Now this one and that one can be a little bit harder to tell when they're in this juvenile of a state, but I'm pretty sure this is a grande. But look at that. Itty bitty baby coming through. Another bifurcatum, another rickrack cactus, and this is a Platycerium Mickey's Rainbow. Again, some cosmetic damage, but popping back just fine. Thank you very much. And then this sad grande. I just, all the leaves got knocked off. I don't know if we're gonna see a recovery on this one. I knew we were gonna lose some, but I just was not ready to lose any of these guys. It just makes me really sad because that one is supposed to look like that one, and it doesn't. Tucked away from any source of light at all whatsoever is the only golden pothos, or a Peperomia that I brought with us. He's fine. Obviously would do much better with more light, but you know, I wanted some greenery on the counter, so we were willing to sacrifice him. Then near the front door, I have a green spider plant who's not liking the fact that I'm still using sink water or tap water for him. He likes to give me brown tips when I do that, but I've just not been good about watering with the filtered water. Just not on top of it enough. There's so much to do right now, so he's just gonna have to live with this for a little bit. But new growth just with brown edges, new growth with brown edges. Such is life, right? Okay, so I'm actually gonna step outside for this one because I've had it outside since we got here. It is my string of hearts, or Ceropegia woodii. Guys, this thing, oh, it doesn't really get much sunlight because there's this big old, I think technically this is a weed, but it's literally the only front landscaping that we have, so we've left it here. But this guy has taken off in this heat. I was trying to get him adjusted to being outside, so then I could just hang it and leave it outside and it can get super, super full. But what's so bizarre to me is how much the leaf pattern has changed. Probably because it's not getting direct sunlight, but it's just getting so much heat. But look at all those different leaf patterns, so you can kind of tell where it was in its life based on the color, size, and or shape of the leaves. This is all the same plant. Not any different cuttings. Like, look, that's all new right there. These got huge. So, super, super excited about this. And hopefully soon it'll be adjusted enough to the sun that I can hang it up and it can just be like, ugh, like crazy plant, guys. String of hearts, have you seen his? His is glorious. Ugh, that's goals. I want that for this. Oy. Okay. This is my daughter's room. This is south-facing window. I just closed the blinds, so hopefully we can see a little bit better. It's just so dark, you know? In this room, we've kind of gone for the maroony green type plants. So this is the Philodendron micans. Still very, very small leaves. Happy to see it still growing. Next, we have a reverted pink princess. You can see some of the move damage right there, just kind of where it just got smushed. Another plant that got too leggy, so I chopped, and now we've got multiple stems happening in there. And other than this leaf, seemed to survive the move just fine. Angel wing, begonia, that's new. Popped out a pup, so doing great. Oh, I just love the pattern of these leaves, and I love that they come out green and then really fade to like this maroon brown. Oh, so cute. Down here we have the Standeliana with a random saucer. She's cute. She's doing real well. This one is another one of those that just loves to put off runners. I'm like, could you not? Because we need to focus on some growth up here. So it looks like, especially after this plant tour, I've got a lot of runners. I'm just gonna run around and chop. Maybe I should pull a Harley G and just put them all in a propagation box and just watch what happens. Just want a fuller plant on top. Can you stop going on adventures? Thank you. All right, so we are now in the master. We've got a western facing window, which makes this room so hot at night, and a south facing window over there. So next to the western facing window, we have my Hoya obovata, right? That's what this one is. This is one that in the last plant tour I freaked out because I found a peduncle, and then I found a second peduncle and I freaked out even more. Well, joke's on me because those peduncles fell off, but I was rewarded with my patience, and I ended up getting 4, which of course are no longer with us, but that was super exciting to me that we had 2, I freaked out, they fell off, and then I got 4. Raven ZZ up over there, repotted it into this thrifted container that I actually just drilled a hole in the bottom for drainage, because if my husband is gonna insist on having 80 bajillion tools, I'm gonna use them so I can turn pretty things like this into a plant pot. Tucked right on over here that I do plan on hanging up here for some height is yet another staghorn fern. I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm just really committed to the Platycerium fam. All right, oh, look at the new shield frond, a new baby. Oh, you make me so happy. Make me so happy. We're just gonna pretend like that basket of laundry is not right there, okay? Can we pretend with me? We have my Melanochrysum. Just a teensy bit sad in some places from the move. But, oh, this one's finally coming out. Look at that. I love you so much. Cannot wait to see this leaf come out. And here is my pink princess that again was getting really leggy. Now I did toss them in jars to root for a little bit, but I prefer to root these in sphagnum moss, so I just need to find where we have that packed and get these in there to get them to root even better so I can plop them back into the mother plant. Yeah, so here's the mother plant. It was just so tall and awkward and just needed a massive haircut. So I'm hoping once those other ones root, I could just like make the world's largest pink princess. And I follow Shane with Gabriella Plants, and then that's actually who I got my pink princess from, and he said, you know, if you really want to make sure you're keeping that variegation, don't let it grow too tall because it might grow out of it. So I was like, oh my gosh, and then chopped it, and now I have like 4 stems rooting. Then we have my Philodendron Brazil. Just one teensy little leaf, but another one on its way. Hoping that this Texas heat does you all the favors, and then you just return the favor by putting out a super cute leaf, just like whenever you're ready. Just whenever you're ready, but ideally sometime soon, okay? Now, about 3 feet away from the window, we have my Philodendron Moonlight. That I totally broke the leaf because I dropped something on it. I'm so sorry. But that's okay, because we got a new one coming in right here. I don't know if you watched my moving with plants video, but this had 2 leaves fall off. Like 1 or 2 leaves fall off because of the move, and now we've got brand new leaf and another one on its way. So we recovered, we bounced back, we're okay. living your best life. And then my other Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that is really just determined to not grow for me right now. I'm really hoping we start to see a little bit more hustle and a little bit more effort from you, because at this point I'm pretty disappointed that I spent about $40 on all of this and you're just taking your sweet time to you know, do anything. Now into my filming room with my latest thrift haul, which you guys will see soon. So we've got a north facing and again a west facing window over here. Panning this way, we have Philodendron Heteroseum Lemon Lime. Not great. I'm just getting level with you. It's not great. Just sad, straggly. Is it really far away from light? Yes, but just sorry. But you also kind of drive me nuts. I should find a new spot for you. Those Scindapsus runners that I was talking about that I trimmed off that are rooting. We have like 1 root happening here. And then the glorious shelf that was on my shower at the last place with another Monstera adansonii that I'm just actually letting these runners climb up and through and around this shelf, because why not? I mean, I think I've made it pretty clear at this point, I don't like leggy plants. I prefer something more compact, or for a plant to be super, super full. But when you have this beautiful display like this, why not go crazy with it? Just the size of the new leaves that it's putting out, I mean, by all accounts, we good. Oh, my terrarium lamps. These got hit hard. My rattlesnake Calathea, I think it was, donezo. These were in the moving truck with Elias, so they just weren't well air conditioned, they weren't covered, so they got burned. And then I took the lids off when we got here because I was freaking out because there's so much moisture in there, and then that Calathea died and we saw a bunch of it. Just traumatic, to be honest. And then my pixie arrowhead or mini arrowhead, mini syngonium, it's okay. It needs some trimming up. I probably should open up both this and the other one and just really clean up on the inside, because that's not cute. That's not cute at all. Moving on over to the other terrarium lamp. That Maranta that I put in there before we left. Same exact thing happened with this lamp. It was in the same spot as the other one. And then I opened it up because it was so humid in there, and then we lost a bunch of leaves. I mean, there's like the sad remnants of a peace lily, so much dead growth. But this string of turtles, I put like a couple of leaves in there so they would just kind of self-propagate and have fun. That has taken off. And the mini arrowhead or the pixie, I don't recall the name, seems to be doing all right. So mostly I think I just need to do some housekeeping on these. Another Philodendron Brazil that seems to be losing. Like, look at this leaf. I don't know if it's just getting so much sunlight, but there's no dark green left. This is all bright lemon lime. This is all from cuttings from that plant that's above the fridge, which is pretty fun. And it's in this gorgeous, wait for it, wait. This gorgeous planter from Grow Hive, and I think I'm gonna try to get like 4 or 5 more, or like 5 total to put across there, because I think this would just be beautiful every time I film. Oh, just to have like dangly, beautiful plants behind me. For now, you're gonna stay right there because I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to order from her. Philodendron Brazil leaf that's rooting in water. I don't know why I did that one. Oh, I think because it was short when I chopped the rest of them off. So not great, but hey, we're experimenting and having fun. Monstera Adansonii that I trimmed from, I don't recall which one, but again, rooting in water. I just like experimenting with long runners to see what I can get them to do. And I have started plants from runners before. In fact, that one, 100% all from runners. I just chopped them all really short, and then over time it grew into a fuller plant. So I like playing with runners. I think it's great. And then there's this guy. If you saw my last one, I expressed frustration because this guy has not done anything in 6 months. We move here and this happens. What? Who gave you permission, good sir, to do this to my heart? This is gorgeous. Like, I almost wanted to give this one away. I was that frustrated. I'm like, it's not doing anything. What's going on? All these leaves are kind of sad. It just looks like a Pothos at this point. But nope, Thai Constellation Homes came through. Finally, we've got some splits. We've got some really solid variegation. So I'm hoping Texas is gonna keep being good to you and me, my friend. Okay, kind of hidden under here is my Philodendron Prince of Orange. Go ahead and turn it this way so we can really get some of that nice pop against that white. Another plant that seems to be loving the new heat. I don't know what it is about Prince of Orange though. The leaves never come out looking normal. They're always just kind of pinched or wonky, but that leaf is relatively new, that leaf is brand new, and we've got another leaf coming in. Another one of those that just did not grow for me. Again, and I really wanted to get rid of, and then moved with it and went, oh my goodness, about time you showed up, my friend. You're real pretty. Oh, look, another staghorn. Are we surprised? And here we have my rubber tree, my Ficus elastica. I believe this is the burgundy. Yeah. And my sweet angelic son smashed his cars all over the leaves in the move because this was too tall to fit in the back of my car, so it was near him. Again, it's cosmetic damage, so I'm not taking them off. I don't love it, but I figure as long as these are still processing chloroform, then chlorophyll. Not chloroform. As long as these are still processing chlorophyll, I'd like to keep them on there, and then eventually I'll give it a good leaf trim. So from here on up, it's gonna be all nice healthy leaves, but I don't wanna take all of those off, even though my son is a total goofball. And if anyone has suggestions for how to firm up this trunk, because we're getting to be, I mean, 3.5 feet tall, and it's still the lean that I'm just not a huge fan of. I'd like to have a little bit more of a straight stalk here. So if you guys have suggestions, I mean, it might be staking it, which I'm willing to do, but let me know how I can get this guy to not do that. And he was doing that even before the move, so not just because it's bending towards the light. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is the original string of turtles. Just glorious. You are glorious. Getting really long again. I might need to repot it. I'm not sure. I'm a little nervous too. Repotting something like this makes me super nervous though, because I'm just worried I'm gonna knock off all of the little itty bitty leaves, which I could just toss apparently into the terrarium lamp and it'd be fine. But I just, like this and string of pearls, like those kinds of plants make me so nervous to repot. Oh, and one of the casualties, actually it's because I was out of town, asked my husband to water for me, and then the AC stopped working. So this one just deteriorated rapidly. This is an autumn fern, and it is one of my favorites. I love the way these leaves look, so I'm trying really hard to make sure that this makes a recovery. I'm willing to accept defeat. Let me check the soil real fast. I mean, you probably need some watering. I'm willing to accept defeat if I have to, but I'm gonna hang on to this for as long as I possibly can, because when this is full grown, it is glorious. And then last but not least, I think this is the last plant. Can you focus for me? I appreciate it. It's lemon lime Dracaena. This was on my counter at the last house, and it's just a funky architectural looking guy. He's a little wonky, he's a little crooked, but I liked him. I'm not quite sure where he's gonna land officially. Like with a lot of these plants, I don't know where they're gonna end up, but for right now, it's just gonna stay here. And maybe I'll stake him too. So that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for indulging my planting obsession yet again. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Get on down there, do the YouTubey stuff. Give it a thumbs up because, you know, you like the video, and then maybe toss a comment in there or something. Let me know what your favorite plant is from the collection, or your favorite plant in general. Let's talk and hang out in the comments, and subscribe because we got a new vlog coming out this Sunday that I think y'all are really gonna enjoy because my family is absolutely ridiculous. And until next time, bye guys.